The following is a presentation of TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a primal lifestyle.
You know, we have Tom from Tampa on the phone. Hey, Tom. Good morning. It's bright and early now, huh?
Hey, Paige. Good. How you guys doing, Nico?
Doing great.
Good. Hey, your newsletter's outstanding, man. I'm telling you, man, it is outstanding. And so is the Primal Edge. I love that stuff. I'd never be without it. I mean, I've been on it now 3-4 months, man. I mean, it's just, I can't get over how good I feel.
Primal Edge is, people are raving about it. People who are trying it, they know because you can feel it.
Would not be without it.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now your hosts, Nico Haan and Paige Clarke.
Well, good morning and welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle. I am Paige Clarke, and this is where we explore a return to our natural, wild world.
Well, you blew it.
That's all right.
Or explore a return to a more balanced natural wild world. It is a tongue twister, though.
Yeah, but sometimes we have to shake it up.
Yeah, that's for sure. I twist my tongue all the time.
No one would know, I'm sure.
And we do this to recover our natural health naturally and to regain our rights and freedoms. I'm Nico Haan.
And it's a beautiful day here in downtown Clearwater. I'm sure it's nice where you are, 68 degrees.
It's beautiful for sure. Man, I love this weather, even though it's...
It doesn't exactly feel like Christmas, but I guess it's a lot better than shoveling, 5 feet of snow. So if you have any questions, you can reach me at paige@tfnn.com.
And Nico at tfnn.com, and we're taking your phone calls at 877-927-6648. So I ran across this beautiful article, The Benefits of Eating Organ Meats and How to Eat Them, because I think that in our modern world, we don't eat a lot of this stuff. Well,
you and I have been discussing the fact that, I really embrace, and you do as well, a lot of the teachings and research of Weston A. Price and the Wise Traditions diet, which embraces the idea that the healthiest people often used organ meats as a part of maintaining their health and their vitality. And I think this is a great article because a lot of people are not aware of it. I don't know how many of you all really had your parents, probably your grandparents, we're still embracing using organ meat. Somehow or another, we've gotten away from the wise ways.
Yeah.
But we're going to come back around here. We're going to be talking a lot more about the real superfoods, which are a lot of these traditional foods that have been all but a lost art.
So my memory as a child, we had liver maybe a couple of times a month. We didn't have some of the other things that we're going to be discussing.
When you say that about liver, I can only remember my mother cooking liver maybe twice, maybe 3 times in my whole life. And I think that's what I'm saying. I'm sure she was doing it because she remembered that she was supposed to do that.
Right.
But she didn't really like it, I don't think. And as a result, none of us really embraced it. And I think this is echoes the work of Pottinger, who was a contemporary of Weston A. Price. And he found that as generations got the wrong kinds of foods, there were health issues, and we've seen that. We may not have as much issues with some infectious diseases that were around 100 years ago, but we certainly have our hands full with the chronic disease that has taken over as a result of nutritional deficiencies and excess toxicity.
Yeah, it brings to mind, I got news yesterday that a good friend of mine, Jimmy D. Vitale, who was a photographer, that took the picture in... with my red shirt on.
Oh, I love that picture, yeah.
Yeah, he took many pictures. I knew him. I met him when I was 35. He was still in college doing photography and became one of the world's greatest photographers and put up workshops all over the world on his types of photography where he used technology. He was right into that cusp.
Is he local here?
He was based out of Atlanta and Santa Barbara. And I met his beautiful wife a few years back, and about once a year, he visited me, and we played Frisbee together. And really a champion guy, 59 years old, battling cancer, and he was going home to rest after the operation, thinking that everything was okay, but I heard that he passed the other day. So
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Condolences to the family.
Yeah, definitely. But let's get back to what we're talking about here is... we're talking about how you can enjoy organ meats as a part of your healthy diet. And it seems like the culinary world is finally starting to come back around to some of these wise traditions. It's called offal. OFFAL,
Yeah.
which is organ meats. And it offers a whole new range of delicious tastes and textures and a way to, I call it kind of wink wink, sneak in some superfood nutrition. You can, if you really don't embrace the love of just eating the actual organs, you can prepare it and sneak it into meatloaf, sneak it into sauces.
Yeah, and the thing too is that the problem with the organ meats is many people really don't know how to prepare them, including I have a little clue on, because I've prepared a few of these things, especially liver, and you've got to prepare it in a certain way, and you know, these pack a lot of punch and they have a lot of taste. It's just you have to get rid of that kind of the icky factor that we've been brought up in modern society, thinking that these things are kind of icky.
And we brought this up before that traditionally, or even our ancestors, most likely, when they ate their animal foods, they actually probably ate the organ meats and left the muscle meat. Ironically,
organ meat and the fats.
Yeah, they ate the organ meats and the fats, and probably left the tougher, lean tissue that we now eat. So, you know, I've often said we live in an upside-down world, so it's still, you know, it applies to this as well.
They gave them to their pets, too.
And, you know, as Nico said, these punch a lot of nutrition. Let's say, just using liver as an example, we're going to go through these different organs, because many of you may not even be aware of them. But for an example, in liver, there is, in a serving of it, is approximately 20 grams of protein, 4.1 grams of calcium, over 4.5 grams of iron, and 14.3 milligrams of magnesium. So this is a great idea. I try and teach my clients, you know, look for introducing perhaps liver once to twice a week.
Yep.
And if you don't cook it, look at getting it in a desiccated capsules. I have those for people that just don't. But it's such an important food, and when you look at the nutritional profile, it's just nothing compares.
And the good thing about it is most of them are rather inexpensive because there's not a large demand in our modern world. We kind of put that stuff aside because of the icky factor again. So.
It sure is. So number one, Nico.
Yeah, tongue.
Haven't ever tried it myself.
I tried it once, and it's very, very flavorful, very dense. It's so tender.
Is it tough? Oh, it's tender.
Oh, it's very tender.
It's tender.
It's a very tender meat, but it's a very dense meat. So think about filet mignon, where it's very lean.
Right.
And it tastes like that, only it kind of melts in your mouth, the way I feel about it. So it's really cool. What does it say
says,
here?
it says it's not only flavorful and really shines in soups, but it packs high levels of iron, zinc, potassium, choline, and vitamin B12.
And if you eat liver or tongue from like a wild animal, you'll get that little metallic type of taste in there because they have a higher iron, and the minerals are a little higher in there because we're eating off the land.
Right.
Yeah. The biggest benefits on this is high in iron, zinc, potassium, choline, and vitamin B12, complete protein. In other words, there's nothing missing out of it.
Right.
And it boosts your immune system. It's a great immune system.
Yeah.
And one of the recipes idea they have in here is pickled beef tongue.
Pickled.
Pickled, yeah. Never tried that for sure.
That's from the Healthy Foodie. Beef heart has the equivalent amount of protein and calories to white meat chicken, which is roughly 95 calories and 15 grams of protein, and boasts a high amount of vitamin B12 and iron. You know, you might think that the nutritional profile of foods that we see might actually give you an idea of why we may have deficiencies in these, because, you know, a lot of people have trouble with B12 and iron, and maybe it's because we're not eating these foods that at one time were a rich part of our diet.
Yeah, and you can prepare this beef heart similar to a steak. You can stew it, you can use it as burgers, you can grill it. It's very cost effective. It's about half the price of like a brisket or a chuck roast.
So we'll be right back.
Yep.
See you in just a second.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Nico and Paige take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And welcome back. So we're talking about organ meats, and we last talked about the hearts, and one of the suggestions here, well, first of all, it's low in calories, high in protein, B12, iron, very, very cost effective, which is a nice part. And the recipe idea for this is doing a heart roast.
Okay.
Which would be kind of probably good looking once it's done and everything. So number 3.
Yes, the number 3 is the liver. And as the most consumed organ meat in the U.S., liver provides one of the most concentrated natural sources of vitamin A, really a crucial nutrient for maintaining your immunity, mucous membranes. And it's a great source of iron, copper, folic acid, healthy cholesterol. Most people find that it provides an anti-fatigue benefit when you do consume it. So it makes it a favorite meal among performance athletes.
Yep.
And again, it is the filtering organ, and just like in our bodies, we want to make sure our liver is clean.
Yeah, sure. Give them an enema before you kill the animal, I guess.
So it keeps you alert, and
that was a joke.
yeah, keeps you alert, and again is a great source of natural vitamin E. Remember, folks, beta carotene is not the same vitamin as vitamin A. We need to get healthy vitamin A from sources like liver or through cod liver oil from the codfish. So number 4,
yep.
The brain.
Well, first of all, we want to say it's high in vitamin A, and it keeps you very alert, like you said.
Oh, I just said that.
Oh, yeah, you did. Okay, never mind, folks. So brain is number 4.
Yeah.
I've never eaten brain, but beef brain is a food, for lack of better words. It's brain food, they said. Comes with a punch of protein, healthy fat, omega-3 fatty acids to be exact, which keeps you fuller longer. Remember, it makes you satisfied. That's what fat does. Don't think about fat in any other way. Good, clean fat keeps you satisfied and not hungry.
Yeah, it's kind of like what it says, meaning less time is fixating on food. That's kind of the whole paradigm that we embrace here.
Yeah.
We enjoy our food, but our life doesn't revolve around this constant feeding that so many people have adapted recently. Go ahead.
That's right.
Yeah.
Not to mention that this protein also helps you maintain healthy muscles and a properly function immune system. They mention this a lot. These organs give us a great boost for our immune system.
Well, let's think about our immune system supports all of our organs and glands. There's a great symphony going on between the organs and glands, and our traditional ancestors revered the sacrifice that an animal made to sustain their health.
Yes,
they were reverent.
Sure.
They were appreciative. They had grace and gratitude, as you saw in the movie Avatar, right? And I think that what we talk about is the resonance. We've talked about cell targeting resonance. We know that organ gland targeting can be done. We have some great plant foods like the work of Dr. Marshall, but we know that when we eat the organs, that frequency, that vibration is going to our organs to help them rebuild.
Pretty cool.
So the brain's going to help rebuild the brain, the heart to the heart, etc.
Number 5 is kidneys. Kidneys have a great offering of folate, iron, zinc, copper, selenium. Kidneys are also a great source of protein, perfect for the post-workout meal.
Yes, just like beef liver, and that you want to buy your meat from a trusted source. Well, we assume you know that we mean that all the time. We're always talking about sourcing animal foods that are raised on their natural diet in a natural, humane way. And sweetbreads. One of the recipes for beef kidney is beef kidney and red wine sauce. But sweetbreads are harvested from cows and consist of both the pancreas and the gullet of the animal. So this provides amino acids you need to repair your body tissues, as I just mentioned.
You see this everywhere in Europe, sweetbreads. I've never eaten sweetbreads that I know of.
Do you know who has them on their menu is Bon Appetit?
Oh.
They have them on their menu as a regular item down in Dunedin.
Recipe ideas are grilled sweetbreads with balsamic glaze, lamb sweetbreads with spring greens and apple pear reduction sauce, and then a paleo breaded veal sweetbread. So those are some of the ideas. The 7th one, of course, tripe, what they call, that's really the large stomach of animals that eat grass.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. It's the stomach lining.
So it's the stomach lining. So again, you would realize that would probably be very healing to anyone who's having stomach issues. And you want to do the parallel. If you want to strengthen the certain, the certain organ, the frequency, you will get that from eating this food. You will get the frequency of those organs. And I think it was a great idea to think of it with a grace and gratitude.
I like the way you're looking at that, because then you can say, okay, if we're going to eat the heart of an animal, then that strengthens my heart. If we're going to eat the liver, it's going to help me cleanse and clean my liver and make my... So if we have stomach problems, the tripe is the thing. If we have problems with our pancreas, maybe we need to eat some of the sweetbreads.
Exactly.
So this makes logical sense. And
well, this goes back to the work of Royal Rife. Who was Royal Rife? He was the founder... Royal Lee. Royal Rife was the founder of the, same thing, matching frequencies. And the oscillator, and, his work was destroyed as well by the mainstream medicine. Isn't that interesting how that happens? But Royal Lee was the nutritionalist, Weston A. Price contemporary, who began doing his research and started creating glandular extracts in whole food supplements. So the standard process product line is based on using glandulars to help restore and rebuild our bodies. Now, Dr. Marshall wanted to provide something that did not have glandulars but had the same cell resonant, and he, as I've often said, will probably be recognized one day as well for being able to find supreme quantum targeting of organ gland resonance without using the animal foods. And I think it can be done both ways.
Yeah, and of course, during the holidays, many meals are being fixed by many people. And if you want something unusual, I think if you go to the organ meats, you'll have something unusual, and then look up some recipes, because I think that's really the key. Because there's a reason why liver and onions go together, because they balance each other out. The onion is kind of like all those little peels that they have are full of liquid, where the liver is kind of dry.
That's a great point.
That's a balance there. So I'm wondering right now, if you're going to be having tripe or you're going to be having sweetbreads, what are you pairing it with? And some of these recipes are doing that.
Yeah.
Are you fixing Christmas dinner this year?
No, we're having a light one. We're not having a big dinner. We're just not this year. We did a big thing at Thanksgiving this year, and everyone's got plans. We're doing a get-together Christmas Eve, and everyone's bringing a sneaky snack.
Sneaky snack.
We call it a sneaky snack.
I like that. We'll be traveling, actually. We're going to be taking the car up to Michigan to see the kids and grandkids, great-grandkids.
Oh, boy, I hope the weather, cooperates with you.
I know, that's what my wife says, too, and I'm thinking, it'd be nice to have some snow, a little adventure on the highway, that type of thing. Nothing no accidents, of course, but I don't mind seeing the white stuff. You know, seeing it for a week is a whole bunch different than living it for 8 months.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Definitely true.
And real quick,
Okay.
I just wanted to share a tip. You know, I'm going to be quite honest, as I mentioned, although I know I wasn't raised eating organ meats, but my research has brought me back after I've experienced every kind of diet that I think these are just nutritional powerhouses, crucial for young families developing children. And that's my passion, is helping actually the younger people that we know are reproducing, and also our older people, because they could be getting a lot of energy if they were getting these types of foods that perhaps they remember having as a child.
Yeah.
But they end up buying Ensures and sweet cakes and stuff, and they forget about their nutrition. But I wanted to say that there are a lot of really great ways that you can sneak organ meat in until you're really developing a taste. And as an example, I'll just give you before the break, you know, I took some organ meats that I had left over from the turkey, and I cooked them, and then I minced them, and I put them in little containers that are not much bigger than an ice cube or two, and I froze them. And then so if I make a grass-fed beef meatloaf, or I want to make a hamburger, I'll mix some of this. If I decide to make a bone broth, I'll add some of it. So there's ways to sneak it in
And
get that nutrition.
Stick a commercial right now.
Yeah, we are.
We'd like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418-8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
The holiday season is here, and TFNN Salvation Army Tiger Dollar Special is back. Right now, you can get a 25% bonus on your purchase, and 10% of whatever you spend will be donated in your name to the Salvation Army. The sale only comes around once a year, so don't miss out. Tiger Dollars are a great way to add extra savings to TFNN newsletters or services, and they never expire. Get your Tiger Dollars before the sale ends Thursday, December 22nd, and get your 25% bonus while donating 10% of your purchase to the Salvation Army. For all the details, visit the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And welcome back. Let's talk a little bit about animal spirit. How we can enhance the relationship between humans, other animals, and the natural world. I think this is a great conversation, Nico, because we both adore, love, and respect animals and all life. And perhaps, even though we choose to eat animal foods as part of our natural diet, because we've determined through our research that there's evidence that humans thrive, and this is the natural diet, I really like people to know I'm very concerned about people realizing that we can still have a consciousness and have respect for our animals, as, you know, just like the other animals, there's some eating of animals in the chain, there's that chain, you know, there's still respect in nature.
Well, I was on, I think it was Tuesday, I was home after jiu-jitsu, and I was looking through things about hunting. And I was kind of comparing what we do today, you know, as far as how we treat the animals and what our ancestors was doing. So I was kind of going back to what our ancestors were doing before domestication.
Right.
And how they knew where the animals were, and how they followed the animals, and how they respected the animals, and how they realized that the animals was a spirit. And the only way you can connect with an animal really is looking through their eyes. Imagine being a cat or a dog or maybe a wild animal like an antelope and looking through their eyes at the world and seeing what we see today. And I was kind of trying to get in touch with that because, of course, in the spring I'm going to be doing that hunting up in Colorado.
I can't wait till you do that.
And I was wondering, how do I connect with something that, if it's out there, you know? And so I was really trying to do research, saying, okay, how did our ancient ancestors know which animals and where they were, and how did they have this relationship with not just the animals probably, but the plants too, because they looked at these spirits as or these animals as spirits, and kind of like as little gods themselves, and as sentient beings. And I think we're out of touch with that. Because, you know, we weed the garden, we see pests around, we kill pests, we're killing plants, we're killing animals without any thought that they have a life at all.
Right, like no thought. Just like a lot of these hunters for sport that we see, and then they post their pictures of their... I don't like that.
Well, in fact, I was talking to Mark on the phone.
Trophy hunting, is that what it's called?
I was talking to Mark, who was in Colorado, and showing us all these wonderful movies about the stick formations and things in Bigfoot country. And he's saying, you know, he got a call from this big animal hunter from Africa and saying, hey, you know where these things are? I'll pay you $10,000 if you take me out so I can bag one of these, you know. Of course, that's not what he's into. So he says, I would never even consider that. But so I ran across this woman, and her name is Anna Breitenbeck, okay, and she's based out of South Africa.
Right, she's a professional animal communicator who has received advanced training through the Assisi International Animal Institute in California, and has practiced for 12 years in South Africa, Europe, and the USA with domestic and wild animals.
Yeah, so she has this whole video. I looked at her documentary called The Animal Communicator. Really important that people see this because she has a real connection with animals, and she demonstrated the movie that I saw, which was kind of a biography of her, was this person was skeptical about what was going on, and she wanted to in each stage take it further and further. One instance, there was this cockatoo, or no, excuse me, this animal, Amazon.
An Amazon
bird, and it just wasn't behaving like the other birds, and the owner had all kinds of problems with it. And so she just kind of sat in front of the bird, and she says, there's certain ways of doing this, of course, making your mind still so it's clear. And by clear, I mean no thoughts of words and things like that. Like a meditation. And then she says you can tap into that other being that's there, and they'll throw you images back. And this is the way she in touch. She says, and this is not this is not something that she just has. She says we just forgot how to use this.
We all have this. And that is the way that we communicate. It's beyond telepathy. It's we exchange pictures in our minds.
Well, the video is really powerful because she stated to the owner of this bird that this bird had a great loss, a very close friend, and she has a broken heart. He says, well, there was a couple of birds that she was with for many years from the other owner. She says, no, this was a human. He says, oh, the owner. She says, the owner raised it from a hatchling for 60 years. Or not, excuse me, 30 years.
We forget how long these animals, their lifespan.
They live a long time. And she said because of some new immigration rules or something, the guy had to leave and left it with this owner.
And the bird had been mourning.
And 2 weeks later, the bird died of a broken heart.
Oh,
There's a lot of stories like this, and one of the most really good ones was about a black panther that she
I think I saw that video.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
It's pretty powerful, and this animal would never come out of its cage. It was previously owned by a zoo that were not treated really well, and they didn't connect with the animal at all. Then they gave it to this wild sanctuary, and the same thing kind of happened.
And they called her out there. There's a video of her,
yes,
and it shows you with them. Yeah.
So this animal, the guy who has it now, is a real connector with lions and other tigers and things like that, and you can see him embracing and playing with each other and stuff like that, but he couldn't connect with this animal at all. In fact, the last time he fed it, he was putting his hand too close and tore part of his arm, and he was in the hospital for a week. So he felt really bad. He was kind of hesitant to do anything, just kind of leave the animal alone, because anybody goes near it, it's growling, it's spitting, it's
right,
all kinds of things. So finally, Anna went there, and she sat with the animal. Of course, nothing happened with the animal. She was just sitting there and communicating. You can actually see the connection in the movie, because you could see the eyes change of the animal. It was really quite something. And what happened was, she said, later she's talking to the owner, and she says, well, this animal's been treated bad. And he says she was in 3 different places. Once was in the wild, once was at the zoo, and then at this animal park, and treated very badly. And she doesn't like humans. She doesn't trust humans. And in fact, she just wants to be left alone. That's what the thing says. So she went back and communicated with the animal and told him, look, you're in a different place. This person
not all humans are bad.
Not all humans are bad. You can...
we'll leave you alone.
Yeah, we'll leave you alone if that's what you want. We're going to feed you. We just don't want you to be violent with us. And I guess the communication back to her was, oh, that's pretty cool. And so she was off to the side, and this cage was always open, but nobody ever went in there, and the animal never came out. Well, she was talking to the owner about this and saying, well, I think he kind of gets what's going on. And all of a sudden you see the leopard walking out for the very first time. And since then, never another problem.
Never another problem. It's like someone acknowledged it.
Yeah. She works well with animals, but she says also you can really do this type of tapping in, not only to animals, but also to plants and to just about everything in the cosmos, maybe to a star or the sun. We really have lost touch, and that's the thing I got from it, and that's what I was kind of looking for when I came across Anna, and I'm sure there's many, many more people that do this, because I know people are very close to their animals, and whether they think they're connecting with the animal or don't think they're connecting with the animals do connect with us.
Wouldn't it be nice if we took the time to realize we could connect like that? What if everybody didn't just dress their dogs up in all these cute outfits and their cats and everything, but actually looked in their eyes and...
Let's pick up some Primal Edge. We'll be right back, and we'll take you through a little process here on how to connect with animals. We'll be right back. You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back to the show, folks. So we're talking about animal communication here, and specifically about Anna, who is just a great communicator. But she does say here that so many of us have awakened to the idea that this is possible, although some don't want to take personal responsibility for connecting with animals in nature and look to someone else like myself to make the connection for me.
Yeah, we tend to put her on a pedestal like she's got some special power, but what she shares is we all have this capability of
in fact, she has once a year, she takes 10 people on a safari to communicate with animals. It's quite inexpensive. It's limited to 10 people. It's expensive. It runs between $14,900 and $20,000, depending if you want a single bedroom or a double with another couple. Probably something worthwhile. I wish I had the money to do that. But she says animal communication is not a gift. It's a natural ability that everybody has, and is a simple matter of getting in touch with your intuition and accessing something that isn't part of our everyday five-sensory reality. The first people and indigenous tribes like the San Bushmen, Native Americans, who were easily able to communicate telepathically with all of nature and didn't consider this unusual. And that's what I kind of got about when I started looking at the hunting patterns of ancient Americans, the hunting patterns of ancient Siberian
So the animals haven't changed, we have.
Yes, and what she says that, and she is talking to plants and animals, and whether you believe this or not, it doesn't really matter to me. I think there is an innate ability for us to communicate with things like this, and I think we probably do and don't know it many times. Mm-hmm. That's just the way
we're not conscious of it?
Yeah, but what she says...
I'm just looking at that picture on the telestrator. That's the one with the beautiful black leopard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you just communicate her or just put animal communication in YouTube or Google,
and you can see her.
You'll find her.
Yeah.
And of course, this will be in a future newsletter for me too. One of the things is that she says is that the animals are very confused. They're very, very aware of us. They really love us because they think we're the end result of what the spirit is, and the best expression of a spirit is the human being able to do so many things. Animals are really trapped in their own little thing. You can only do this when you're a tiger. You can only do this when you're an armadillo. Humans can do it all.
So they really look up to us.
They really look up to us, but they wonder why we're so confused. Because they do remember through their ancestors that we once were like they were. Yes, we hunt them and we kill them, but one of the things they notice too is that that animals, when they seek out other animals to eat, they kind of connect with them. And
it's almost like an agreement?
Yeah, it's almost like an agreement that, you know, the herd needs to be thinned a little bit. We're going to take a young one that's not quite aware, or you're going to take an older one that's not moving quite as fast. But when it's kind of, I kind of saw it like jiu-jitsu. Because when somebody's choking me in jiu-jitsu, you know, they're not choking me to cut off my air. They're choking my carotid arteries to stop the blood. And what this does, it's not painful at all. Mm-hmm. It puts you to sleep.
Right.
And that's what they see in the eyes of a dying animal when it's done, you know, with that carotid that the animal gets with its teeth.
So that's what animals are doing.
That's what animals are doing. And the animals, even though it's thrashing around, just like if somebody's choking me, I'm thrashing around too. Right. But I'm not being hurt.
Right.
It's
sedation.
It's sedation. So it's completely different than the factory farms or the slaughtering that we do in modern times. And this is why
which is a bullet to the head or something.
Yeah, whatever it is, it's not the same thing, that's for sure. A bullet to the head probably doesn't hurt either. I mean, it's instant. Mm-hmm. So there is really, and I think we don't really know. I mean, nobody really knows what happens when you die. Nobody really knows. You know, we have all these theories and we have these religious things. Oh, I know. But beware of the person that says he knows. Yeah. So, you know, your time on here on the earth is a short time. We're looking through these eyes now, our human eyes, which is probably the ultimate experience. But perhaps looking through a tiger's eyes or looking through a snake's eyes might be just as wonderful.
Oh, Nico, that's very touching.
I mean, I think that this is the way I think, and I think we're so in touch.
You know what I think? I think I like the fact that you think about these things.
Oh.
You know, that makes you cool.
Yeah. Well,
you know, and I know. I think the reason that we do this show is we're both just very hungry to understand a lot of whys.
Well, one of the things is, you know, I'm no nature boy. I'm not going out there camping all the time, and I've camped when I was young. I've camped when I was old. I've taken little trips. I spent nights in the woods, but certainly I'm not an survival expert. Could I survive out there? Probably, but because I'd learned how to do things. But our ancient ancestors, she even said that plants give off this certain vibration, and just by the way the plant is growing, you instinctively know whether you can eat it or not.
Well, you know, that is very interesting. You remember that one video? Gosh, we've been doing the show so long now. I remember, I think we actually showed it on one of the shows. The researchers that, I think it was a part of Italy, that actually found a way to hook up the plants, and they noticed how the plants got excited when a child came into their environment. And they could hear the sounds that they were emitting, the frequencies, and it was a form of communication. And when someone would approach them, they would be, you know, get excited, and it was wonderful.
Well, one of the things that you can do is you can go out in the woods and you can clear your mind and see what comes about. And this is one of the suggestions you have. You can even do this I can probably sit on the front porch and maybe wait for all these little lizards and snakes and things to come. Something I want to try. I'm going to try to connect with, and they say there's no distance problem. In other words, the connection between you and me sitting here together, or the connection between two beings hundreds of miles apart.
So if you really sat there and thought about it and said, I want to connect with that elephant that in that picture that she's with, I'm going to really put my intention on connecting with that elephant.
First of all, of course, you have to clear.
Right. I'm saying if you're in a meditative state and you really
And this brings me to mind something that happened to me when I was young. I was about maybe 17 years old. I had moved to the United States, and I still had my buddy Terry, who was living at that time in Barrie, Ontario. He was stationed with the Air Force in Canada, but our hometown was London. So I said, well, I'm going to London myself. I said, I want to see my buddy. Of course, he's in Barrie.
Right.
Well, I'm walking down the street, look across the street, and Terry's walking. He says, I just had this feeling to come here.
Oh, wow. See, and the more you think about having an intention-filled life, that you intend to connect, you intend to be healthy, you intend to create, you intend to see something, you intend to hear from someone, it's amazing. And I've noticed, and it's becoming more common, even if you don't make it obvious. I mean, that's amazing. You all decided in your subconscious minds that you were going to find a way to connect, and you did it.
Yeah, and it was one other time I was meeting him in Barrie, and I said, well, I'm going to be hitchhiking, so I don't know when I'll be arriving. But I was walking down the street. I had never been to Barrie before, especially walking and hitchhiking. And I'm walking down Main Street, and all of a sudden, out of a cafe, Nico, hey! So I mean, it's pretty remarkable. And the other thing I want to mention is when I met my wife for the first time I looked in her eyes, it seemed like I knew her 1,000 years.
I'm sure you do, or have.
And that's how we connected. And that's from that experience, I intended to be with her for the rest of my life. Just from that one moment, I knew. I don't know how I knew it, and she knew it. It's a cool thing.
It is a cool thing.
Pick up some Primal Edge, pick up my newsletter, folks, and we'll be right back for the last segment.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of The Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
No matter where you're listening to TFNN programming, you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones, iPads, and Android devices, located in the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and call-in talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors. Join John Logan as he teaches you trading techniques utilizing the TAS Profile Scanner. The Global Market Pulse, next on TFNN.
So have you wondered more about animal communication? And as we just shared, Nico shared, we knew we really can communicate with animals in a more telepathy type of manner. And there's another animal communicator that I found that I want to share with you, this Penelope. Teaches courses and videos.
Penelope Smith.
Penelope Smith, yeah. It's a webinar answering. She has a webinar that answers questions about animal communication. You can find on YouTube. Maybe Nico will put it in the newsletter next time. She actually does, or there's another woman, Susan Erich of Earthfire Institute, has a great video about healing a grizzly bear through telepathy. So you might enjoy seeing just how people are showing that this is an innate skill that we all have. And as Penelope Smith says, this is kind of an age of ecological emergency. And when she says that statement, I think back to the horrible tsunami period. And when
Thailand.
Yeah, in Thailand, when they said that, quite frankly, if you were actually in tune with the animals, they all left. The animals left. There were no animal tragedies. They went for higher ground. They instinctually knew. They were tapped in to the universal field, the force field, and they knew what was going on.
And they follow ley lines, too, which are energetic lines. So the migratory birds and the animals move along those lines. And when you're tracking animals, you move along those lines, too.
I think of the ley lines on the Earth as the acupuncture meridians on our bodies.
Very similar.
And the chakras or their inner acupuncture points, or, there's vortexes on there.
So when we look at the root word of telepathy, we find it means feeling across a distance. Telepathic communication involves a direct transmission of feelings, intentions, thoughts, mental images, emotions, impressions, sensations, and pure knowing. Animals obviously communicate through physical actions and their own complex languages. They also communicate telepathically, both among each other and to humans. People receive the messages to a degree they are listening and can tune in.
That's a key point right there. What she says is people receive these messages. We're receiving them. The question is, are we conscious of it? Are we really tuned into it? And simply becoming more conscious and slowing down a little bit.
And this is probably one of the reasons why children communicate so well with animals, and animals communicate well. A healthy animal is not going to harm a baby. Even the reports of Bigfoot and children, they are fascinated with children because there's probably the younger they are, the more connection they are.
Tell me about that.
Well,
Bigfoot, there's some stories that...
There's very much stories that when children go out in the woods and they're kind of left alone a little bit, the Bigfoot will show themselves.
Because they...
But they won't show themselves to men.
To adults.
They do, well, to adult women, they do show themselves more often. Because that's a less threat. Women think a different way than men think. We know that men are from Mars, women are from Venus.
That's right.
So we do think differently. Men have this one thing where women are more multitasking, carrying different things in the basket, so to speak.
Well, the feminine energy is more accepting of things, where men are more protective.
Yeah, and that's why our ancient ancestors always had that matriarchal society. The woman was the spiritual head. Even though the chief may be a male, the spiritual head, the advisor.
Not in the Cherokee Nation, though. I mean, really, actually, the Cherokee Nation, the women were kind of the heads of the society.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they weren't chiefs.
Yeah, true.
No, they were more the shamans and, the advisors, the council.
The wise ones.
The wise ones, exactly.
Yeah.
So, we don't have any time left to go over this anymore. It's naturally going to be in a future Health Signals newsletter. I implore everybody, just take a look at Anna, take a look at Penelope Smith.
And really, in reality, how much better world would it be if we all tuned in a little bit to what makes us all the same? In all this time right now, we're seeing the left and the right and the wrong and the black and the white, the animal and the human. Let's realize that there's a common field that we can actually communicate and be happy. So be happy, and we'll see you next show.
Thanks, folks.
Bye.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
You're watching Tiger TV.